following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome into Mornings on Main Street on this Friday, February the 4th, 2022. Look on your screen right there. That's what you're going to see around Nashville and Middle Tennessee right now. This is down the Brentwood area, and it is, slippery and sliding and everything else. So please be careful as you make your way in this morning on your commute, because this is, if we pull up the main map there, intern, if you don't mind doing that. And we had some of those construction sites where look at that. Okay, go back up there, see, pick one out. For sure we're going to choose. There you go, right there. That's what we just saw. Here's another one for you, just kind of give you an idea. This doesn't, I'm sorry, my friend, this doesn't look fun at all. But, metro schools have been called off. Check your calendar or your emails or your whatever. A lot of schools have been, a lot of schools have canceled today. So this is Armory Drive. That's just a mess. As you make your way and enter and pop another screen up there. But we've never seen this many accidents this morning since we started the show. I hope they're not accidents, just a small little fender benders. This is way down there in Williamson County, which is on the other side of where the ice storm was coming in. And there we go. Look at you making it work, man. See all the reds on the screen there as you come in. My commute from Donaldson here to Lebanon was okay. There was no problem. And so it's another example of what's happening here. This is I-65 south of Harding Place. My goodness. Just stay at home. Just, if you have to go, I understand it, but just stay at home today as you look at all the TDOT SmartWay cameras around Middle Tennessee. Just going to be a mess this morning. So please be careful as you make your way in. What goes on. All right, welcome back. Hey there, everybody. Your Friday is here. Big weekend. Hope you guys have a lot of fun this weekend. It's coming up, and stay safe. Get off the roads today. I'm not sure when the weather's going to last, how long this is, but hopefully it'll get out of here soon for the weekend, and we can get out and about and have some good times. Welcome into the show today. Always a fun show on Fridays. Alan Bell is going to join us from CBS Sportsline at 7:40 this morning. Look at that. Intern, look at that. Mm-hmm. And Josh Ewers, who's a writer, arts and entertainment reporter for Main Street Nashville, joins us this morning at 7:15. He's written some great articles on musicians. Wrote one on Don McLean yesterday that we spoke about. He's going to join us at 7:15 to talk more about that. Intern, how are you, pal?
I'm doing good, pal. How are you?
I'm good. Do we hear you today? Are we good to go?
Yes, I believe so. We are all good. Okay.
You took your headphone off again. Why is that?
I see you taking off your headset. Is there a problem? Quote that. You know that movie?
Headset. No, I do not.
War's a Star.
Who?
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the very first one, yeah.
The very, very first one, yeah.
Well, number 3 or whatever you nerds try to figure out. To me, Star Wars, that came out in 1977, was the first one.
Yeah, the fourth one, I guess. Something really sad is I had my birthday party at the series premiere, or the premiere of Star Wars 3.
What? How old were you turning?
I think it was like 13.
Did you get beat up?
No. I'm not sure if anybody came because the theater's dark, but
nobody came. I'd have come. Future boss would have shown up and thrown you some Fritos and gotten out of there.
Yeah, just
so Star Wars with the first original was number 4, right?
Correct. Yes.
God, you guys, man.
You don't like Star Wars? You're not a big.
No,
George?
I think they got diluted. I think there's too many of it, and it's gotten no.
Yeah, when Disney took over, it was a little weird now.
No, I just think the original 3 were fine, and then the clones was awful, and then it just got even more. But I didn't mind the one that had nothing to do with Star Wars. Rogue, was that the one?
Yeah, the little one-off ones.
Yes.
Yeah, Rogue One, not bad.
I didn't mind that because that really had nothing to do with Star Wars per se, right?
Yeah, but you don't like the lightsaber?
What was that?
The lightsaber? The whole thing. It's like the whole thing of Star Wars. They use it
In
as a
Rogue?
weapon. They're just everywhere
Oh,
in the
forget it.
galaxy.
You've got me so confused. I don't know what's going on.
You know what a lightsaber is.
I do. I know, but was that in Rogue?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2.
I thought you're some kind of Star Wars guy.
Yeah, I am.
But now you got me so confused. What's going on there? So Rogue had nothing to do with the original 9.
I think Rogue One was it was the right before they built the Death Star, or as they were building the Death Star.
Who built the Death Star?
The Empire.
Okay.
I don't really think you could put one name on it, but if you did, I guess it would be
Let me ask you this.
Chancellor Palpatine.
Did they get different bids on building the Death Star?
So they should have. That's the thing. That's like the whole thing. They should have gotten someone else to build it because this guy that built it
obviously didn't know what he was doing.
Well, he
right?
he left a hole for Luke to shoot the missiles.
So could you hold this construction guy culpable for the Death Star blowing up?
Extremely. I think it was off with his head with him.
Okay. Well, there's nobody around because they blew up the Death Star. There's nobody to prosecute him.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, there's this little spot that if you shoot him, I doubt anybody could get it, but there's this little spot. If you get a missile in there.
I mean, surely they could have hired somebody. We got great construction people around here in Wilson County. They could have hired Goolsby. Could have got
I was about to say.
in to do that.
Goolsby could have came on and told us about it.
Yeah. 6 months later. All right. All right. Let's bring in. Oh, there he is. There it is. All right. Our headlines. Thank you from Main Street Nashville this morning, right to your inbox. Love this. Plenty of information there as always on the Main Street edition. This front page. Look, there it is. February the 4th, 2022. A few stories that stuck out for, what is this thing doing to me this morning? There we go. I'll get this one day eventually. Okay, let's move down this way. And, we like the positivity here. Looking in the paper today, staff report, Metro Nashville Police Department honors 2021 Employees of the Year. And what a last couple of years for our men and women in blue. So it's always great to honor them. And Chief John Drake there giving the awards out for those men and women right there for the Nashville Police Department, which we go over here next. I love this story in turn because we spend so much time doing animal shelters and helping out. Kingston Springs, Cheatham County Police Department gets a new canine officer.
Yes.
And Sharon Alice Lurie with this story. Luca is the 4th dog to serve with the town's police department and started on the job 2 weeks ago. Now, here's the deal. I'm not a criminal, but if I was like a little cat burglar and broke in and stole like a VHS cassette and Luca came up, I would just drop everything and start petting her.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I could just see you sneaking around taking VHSs.
But would you not I'd get her in a headlock and kiss her all over? I mean, I would.
Absolutely. I bet that's how she gets the criminals.
Luca is a Belgian, I'm going to butcher this word, Malinois, a common breed uses police dog.
I bet that was it.
Oh, it's a he. Okay.
Oh, hey.
He detects the smell of narcotics, performs school searches, and used for tracking and capturing cases of suspected felony or violence. Good for you, buddy.
He looks like he's already looking for a criminal. It's like I want the smoke.
Yeah, he is. He's looking right into your soul, intern. You better watch out. Luke was born in Hungary and raised in Amsterdam. Once coming stateside, he spent time with a specialty police dog trainer in Gallatin. That's cool. Followed by training with Palazzi from October. I guess that's his new buddy. Until December. I love stories like this because all too often you just see the officer with a canine, and I love the backstory that goes on there. Yeah. That's very cool. There's a movie coming out with Channing Tatum called Dog. It's where he's bringing a dog over from the Middle East, a soldier's dog. Mm-hmm. I guess the soldier passed away, and they're bringing the dog over to give to the guy's family. It's an adventure of bringing the dog over. So it's kind of cool there.
Yeah, I like John Cena. Wait, not
John Cena.
I'm sorry.
Do you even pay attention to me during this show? I'm not sure you do.
Channing Tatum, yeah, he's funny.
Now look at this. This is another good story. Sales tax revenue continues to boost Hendersonville's coiffers. Okay,
cool.
So Tina Lee, nice story here. More Hendersonville roads than previously planned could get paved before the end of June. Midway through the fiscal year, the city's collected just over $1.2 million more and sales tax revenue. So they're getting the money immediately going to pave roads.
Oh, awesome.
That is getting it done.
That is, man. That is putting it into action.
Yes.
I hate
Although
gravel.
I've been in Hendersonville, I don't think they've got bad roads over there.
You know, Memphis, I went to a town that only has brown roads.
And what?
Yeah, it was a town in Memphis. I think it was Arlington. And all their fire hydrants are a different color.
But then the roads are like brown paved?
Brown paved.
Can you get a picture for us?
For sure. I'll be right back.
I mean, you got a Google search over there. When you're not
That's
paying
true.
attention to the show, you probably get something that goes on there. So well done, Hendersonville. And some, I love Hendersonville, though. That's a really, really nice area. Look at this. Wilson County Schools identifies land for new schools. Pretty soon, there's going to be a high school in every corner. That's going on down here. Now, I'm not sure where the targeted property is located at 1690 Double Log Cabin Road in Lebanon. Immediately when I read Double Log Cabin Road, I thought about syrup. You know where that place is?
No, I do not. I have not ever heard of that place.
You live up here. Do you not pay attention to anything?
I've never heard of a Double Log Cabin Road.
Okay, well, it's where they got 2 log cabins on that road.
I'm a big fan, though. I like cabins.
Then there's another road another school that's been looked at on 14045 Central Pike. I'm not sure where that is, but that location is big enough for an elementary school. Man, they're popping up everywhere over here. So thank you, Jason Gillsby, for that story, which you didn't give us, which we found on our own. All right, so this is cool. Nashville Banner. We love reading the Nashville Banner headlines in the Main Street Nashville edition we get every day. This is from 1957. I love this story. If you go down, look at this. Mayor West backs $46 million dam on Stones River. Now, it didn't get completed until, I think, 67 or 68, but 10 years before, they asked for $46 million for the dam on Stones River. Now, what do you think about that, intern?
Well, I bet when they told him the price, he was like, what? Finish the sentence. Damn.
Okay.
For it. That,
All right.
right.
You
No,
are,
like, this is what he's-
you are going to timeout. That is.
Without the N on the end.
Oh, man. That's 1957. And I tell you, I mean, I would subscribe to Main Street edition just to get the front page of the banner. I love looking at this stuff. You grew up here. You see all the things that go on and that happen. And then, of course, events that happen on this day, February the 4th. George Washington, first president of the United States. Did you vote for him back then, 1789?
I was undecided at that time.
Look at this. On this day also, 2011, Associated Press NFL MVP was awarded to Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, we're hearing is the new Titans quarterback.
Yeah, all I can see on Twitter now is that he's going to be a part of the team. We're going to get Devontae Adams.
Man, Jared Stillman, 102.5 The Game, set the world on fire with all that stuff, which, if Rodgers comes, look, whiskey sales start a comeback.
Hey, I didn't know they never left.
Me neither, but evidently it's how you get Aaron Rodgers here to come. 400 jobs come to Dixon Monogram Foods. We'd love to see jobs that are happening there. Also, read this today. Everything you know about credit. This is a great little article about credit and how it's rated and your credit scores. You can get a mortgage and how it's all figured out. This is nice. We think this guy, William Wilson. It's a nice article explaining a lot of things that happen and how to get your credit and what goes into making your credit score good. Here's the main thing my mom always told me about your credit score. Pay your bills. Do you hear that from your from Pop Intern?
Yeah, I get that. I've gotten that advice before. I always like those commercials with the songs.
Oh, yeah.
Free credit report. All right.
Yeah. Look, this is something cool. Nintendo Switch becomes the best-selling home console in history.
Wow.
They have sold, my son's got one of these. They've sold 103 million units since 2017.
That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, my buddy had one, and we played Mario Party all the time. And it was
What?
Mario Party.
What is that?
He's a plumber. He saves a princess.
I know who
every
Mario
now
is,
and
but
then.
what's Mario Party? Is it like a rave?
Oh, him and all his buddies. Yeah. We get
Him
together
and
and
his
just get a
buddies.
strobe light going.
Is it fun? When my
it's
son
fun.
starts playing, I get ignored immediately. So.
What's he play on it?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Probably. Well, you can play certain games on Nintendo that you can't on other.
Is there a better looking man in the paper today than that guy right there? Don't think so. That's an article about what you guys need to stop doing about making your way across town. And basically the story is when somebody asks you where to go, you always say, that's about 15 minutes from here. If you live in Middle Tennessee, there's nothing within 15 minutes of where you are. Your horoscope ready today, intern? Taurus.
Yes.
Say and do what's on your mind. You got something to say to me?
I love this. segment.
Okay. You'll pay the price if you pussyfoot around or keep secrets that might hurt the status quo.
Okay.
Be ready to follow through and make things happen. Ooh, a physical change will lead to compliments.
It must be my 8-pack of abs coming in.
Maybe cutting your hair. That massive, glorious mop of hair you have on your head.
It keeps me warm.
All right, we'll get wrapping up here. Josh, we're coming to you in just a moment. But first, we got to do our comic strip tease. Josh probably watching this thinking, why am I on this show this morning?
There's still time, Josh. You can go.
Josh will come find you if you try to leave.
Yeah.
All right, comic strip tease this morning. Sherman's Lagoon, playing the voice of the shark is Al Pacino, and playing the voice of the turtle is the intern, and you are
Joe Pesci.
Okay, here we go. Sherman's Lagoon. 3, 2, hey, cool. Come here. What are you working on?
Don't look.
What am I not looking at?
I'm making a sculpture for the Lagoon Square. I don't want anyone to see it till it's unveiling.
Got it. One question. Can you point me towards my home?
Just follow the sound of Megan's disappointment.
Is Josh still there? Or did he hang up?
Yes, he's good. That's awesome.
All right, good. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Josh Ewers, who's an arts and life and entertainment reporter from Main Street Nashville, does a fantastic job. He'll join us next. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
And they've got an e-reader, which is just, for people like me, I have grown up with a newspaper holding it in my hand. I really like that experience. But the e-reader or the press reader that Main Street has, you get to see a front page. You get to see the business stocks. You get to see all of that. But if you see a photo and it's got a little icon on the bottom, when you see that icon, that means there's a gallery there.
I love writing and journalism just on its own, and I think I learned that during the pandemic because I was covering all kinds of non-sports related things and still having fun with it, still finding out a lot of great stories. But when you can combine something I'm already interested in, have a lot of knowledge about in sports, I feel like I'm really able to combine two of my passions at the same time, and that's really rewarding for me.
Welcome back in the Mornings on Main Street. You're looking T-Dot Smartway camera, I-65 south of Harding. Cars sliding on the roads. Just be careful this morning as you make your way in. It's kind of a scene around Middle Tennessee. Just don't speed. Be careful. All the stuff we tell you for years and years and years. The left side looks to be going pretty good over there. So please be careful as you make your way in this morning. All right, our first guest this morning. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of great writers, and when stories seem simple, but they make them really, you get into the story and you just kind of get involved in it. And our next guy does a great job with that. It's bringing Josh Ewers from, he's a life, music, arts, entertainment reporter at Main Street Nashville. Josh, good to see you, man. Thank you for doing this.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
I appreciate it. We're going to get started. You wrote a story back on December 23rd, because I wrote it down, about a great story, kind of a backstory about you coming to Nashville. You kind of really open up about who you are. And I wish more writers would do this. Ashley Perham did it. We had her on a few weeks ago. Same thing. Why was it important for you to write this story? Was it to clear your mind? Was it just tell everybody who you are? Why was it important to do that?
It was just kind of the time of year that he passed away. And I was thinking a lot about it. And, you know, obviously it's been a crazy year for me coming here. I had no idea that I'd be in this role. And talking to artists and very insightful people for a living, and was just kind of feeling thankful for that scenario and that setup. And I was just dwelling on the kind of the journey that got me here, and I think that was a huge part of that. Meeting him and learning some things about life from him, and kind of just ended up where I did. I think it was kind of a lot of serendipity there, and I'm not formally spiritual in any way, but I have to feel like there was some directing going on there. So that was kind of the thought process behind that one for sure.
Yeah, and just a great, you're sitting there and you're kind of contemplating what your future is. Along this great journey that we all do, we meet some amazing people that I don't think sometimes, when I'm 53 and I go back, think, I met this, guy who gave me advice. I was 25 at the time. I don't realize it. You were able to realize the advice and kind of the circumstance you are. How did you understand all that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, when you wrote the article, I'm saying sometimes people come into your life, you don't realize the impact they have until many, many years later. The story you wrote about this guy who had an impact in your life. How did you realize and how did you understand that at the moment he was going to have such a profound impact on you?
I don't think I did initially. I think that was kind of part of the beauty of it. It was kind of just a chance meeting. I was in a record store covering a story about a closing of a record store. It was like one of the first stories I did at that newspaper, and it was just kind of an offhand meeting. And one day he called me and was talking about how he had this story he wanted me to write, but really he just wanted somebody to come over and listen to him for a while. And it kind of started as a very one-sided thing, but after a while I kind of got to appreciate who he was and the kind of person he was and how fun he was and funny and how many stories he had, and just became good friends. I don't think I really realized it in the moment until he really started getting sick and kind of coming towards the end, how much of a profound impact he was going to have on my life and how much he was going to stay with me. So
that's great, man. And then look at you now. And so then yesterday was the day that the music died, and you had this great article on Don McLean, and just to sit down, to understand this song, this man. What was it like to talk to him about this very iconic song, Josh?
It was amazing because I didn't want to kind of get into the minutia of the song because I had done some research, and in a lot of his interviews he kind of shies away from talking about like the individual symbolism of each and every verse and kind of how things tie together, because like most artists, he likes to leave that up to interpretation and kind of let people take their own way from things. So I didn't want to get bogged down in some of the minutia in that way and kind of insult his intelligence and kind of try to get every little individual thing from him. But it's funny because, just when you're having a conversation with someone and you kind of let yourself drift away from, I'm going to ask him this really important question, and kind of just focus on, being comfortable with someone, they kind of give you, great things at unexpected points. I'd just kind of been slotted in between these two like big TV networks for the interview, and he just given me like 20 minutes in between these two huge TV networks, and I was very much going over my allotted 20 minutes, and very, very knowingly so. And he kind of realized he was going to be late and he needed to go, and just kind of offhand kind of shifting gears in the middle of an answer. He kind of gave me this throwaway exit line about how this song was intended to convey that. And this is without me ever asking him really what the song meant. I was more focused on his surroundings and his environment and what kind of inspired it. And he kind of gave me this throwaway line, and he had been talking about his disdain for factualism in the U.S. political system and the current two parties. And sorry if I'm rambling a lot, but I
love it.
The exact quote was, "The idea of American Pie is that music and politics influence each other while going forward. That's the notion that I have. And so it's continuing to do that even for these 50 years. And that was the start of it. But, he's a very political guy, and this may rub some listeners the wrong way, but kind of try to take the macro view of it. And he said, so now we have the music that is right for Donald Trump to be president. It's empty, it's egotistical, it's ugly, it's vapid, it's somewhat mean. So the theory is continuing to play out. So he's kind of talking about how the song is about how music and art influence each other moving forward, and how kind of today's modern pop music, and granted there's a lot of great stuff that comes out, but as far as the mainstream stuff is kind of like full of empty sentiments and kind of things that sell well. And, a lot of mainstream pop radio is very boastful and very brash and kind of things like that. So, it was interesting to hear that kind of concept from him. I don't know what I expected from the interview, but just that last throwaway line really captured my attention and kind of became the thesis statement for the article.
I love. You did a great job of putting that together and combining everything. Really well done. Let me ask you this from a standpoint of somebody. I've got 20-something years in working in media, but I always get asked about interviewing celebrities and musicians and all that, and like your preparation. You know what I always did, Josh, and I don't know if you do this or not. I'd always read interviews that they've done with other people, and usually they fall into a pattern. You get the same questions, the same responses. I think you're like me, is that you search for something that's so abstract and out there that really makes them think that, what their answer is going to be, and the fact they've probably never been asked something like that. Do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you need to look and figure out what's been uncovered and what hasn't, and what's interesting and what's not, and what they're probably tired of answering. And, and even finding concepts that have been talked about a lot that you find yourself curious, what's step B and C of that question that nobody's ever asked them before. But really, when it comes down to it, I think a lot of writers overcomplicate things and forget to make it about, and granted, this is a lot easier in my particular beat, but forget to make it about the emotional substance of the story, because that's inevitably what holds a reader's attention, is that connection to a story, that relationship, that relatability to the story. You can read a story about anything, but we're all humans at the end of the day. And we all kind of feel the same types of things as we go through life. So I think that's what you have to kind of search for in any story.
What, being a music reporter and an arts entertainment reporter in a city that's just blowing up like Nashville is this fun, the job? Because there's a lot of things coming at you with record labels and new artists and concerts and events are happening. I guess it'd be tough to kind of filter through what kind of stands out on a certain day. Has that happened to you?
I don't think it's tough at all. I think it's almost 100% fun for me. Getting inundated with, lots of local artists sending their albums, wanting me to check it out and listen to it. I get paid to talk to creative, insightful people for a living and kind of sift through good music. And there's no better place to be to do that than in Nashville. The local scene here is amazing. You've got everybody's involved in the music industry. Everybody's very talented. Everybody's very passionate. I think you get a lot of that here, and I really wouldn't be anywhere else doing this. It's been pretty amazing. I don't look at it as a job almost.
I tried to find something you written a few weeks ago. You had a review of an album, and I couldn't find it. And I loved it because you were very like, this isn't any good. And I forget what it was.
It's the Walker Hayes album.
A lot of times working here, some reporters will do the sugarcoat answer because they don't want to offend anybody. And I loved your just openness of like, look, this is basically not any good. I loved it, man.
Well, I honestly try not to do that, and I did lose some sleep over that, and it's probably not the answer you want. But, at the end of the day, these guys, no matter how much I like a given album or think it's good or not, and I definitely don't do that with local artists because they don't need that. They're trying to come up. But with the big artists, even if I don't like an album, I try to find the good and the positive in it and put it out there and not kind of be an elitist about it. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you have to get your opinion across. But but no, that one was kind of a little different for me. I think that's the first one I've really, really done that on. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but
that's all right.
But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, they work really hard on a project and put their heart and soul into it. And no matter how it comes out, I'm still just the guy behind the keyboard with an opinion, you know. So I try to respect their artistry, even if I don't necessarily relate to it or think it's something that I would listen to in my free time.
Well, I love the fact that you do that. Has there been a moment, and let's, I know for me in my career, there's a moment where you interview somebody, you're thinking, you kind of like have an out of body experience. For me, it was interviewing one time I get to interview Dale Murphy. And I said, look, I'm here to interview you. I know all that. I said, but separate me from my job. I'm on cloud nine. Has there been a moment like that for you so far?
I don't know. It's been a lot easier than I thought it would be, honestly, as far as, just relating to people. Like you have those first couple minutes when you're like before an interview where you're like, holy crap, I'm about to talk to person X. But
right,
when you first start talking to them and kind of realize how conversational the tone is, it becomes easy. Like and I think it helps with some of the country people that I didn't really grow up listening to a ton of country music. Like I lived in West Virginia, so I mean it was there and my friends were always into it and I knew a lot of the history and the artists and stuff. But like first couple months I was here, I just casually walked up to Garth Brooks and shook his hand and started a conversation, which is not a sentence I thought I would have been saying a year ago. But I don't know, some of the moments are pretty cool though, and kind of after you get off the phone or leave the conversation in person, you kind of like, holy crap, that happened. And I think one moment like that for me was talking to Carlos Santana, just like talking philosophy with him. And he's got all this high-minded stuff that he's, given me. He's very forthcoming and very conversational and just talking about, personal spirituality and things like that. And I was just like, what is my life right now? Who am I? I'm just chatting with Carlos Santana about his worldview. How did I get here? So it's been pretty wild.
I love it, man. And that goes back to your article about the phone call that led you here and everything. We all got a story. It's a beautiful story, man. So I'm grateful that you shared that part of it. Josh, thank you. Keep up the good work, man. We're big fans of you over here, and we'll talk to you down the line, brother.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you having me.
All right, Josh Ewers, who is the arts, music, entertainment, life reporter for Main Street. There's some really, really good stuff there, and you saw with the Don McClain article as well. Thank you, Josh. All right, we'll take a break. Come back with more. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey. I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
My friends, you make your way in. Hope you're not watching this as you make your way in. watch later. But it's closed down there. This is coming in from the Brentwood area into Nashville. I'm trying to see exactly what's going on right there, but they've shut the road down. This is south of Harding Place. As you come up, thank you. Whoever's controlling the camera right there. The southbound lanes are fine, but the northbound lanes coming to town are shut down. Can you imagine the backup right now on that side of the road? And turn, you don't get down there. There we go.
That zooming out. It's like they're listening to us.
They are listening to us. Thanks for watching Mornings on Main Street over there at the T-Dot Smartway. Let's keep this on for just a second as people try to go and try to figure what's happening there. By the way, God bless the T-Dot Smart, the help trucks.
Oh, yeah. The move over guys?
Yes. They are fantastic men and women who do a wonderful job.
Letting people through.
Oh, it's like the opening of a race.
Yeah.
Go on. And then back up there. I wonder what the problem was.
No.
We don't speculate on this show.
Only facts.
Only facts. As we get there. So that's happening there. So hopefully nobody's injured. Of course, there's something going up at the off-ramp up there on the right, top side. Okay, good job. We got anything else going in, Turn? Can you pop the and see the construction signs that's happening down there? There's that one there. What's going on up here? Oh, goodness. How do you break down the back of his back? You're going the wrong way, pal. Or the back
going on the tow truck.
Is he backing up on the tow truck?
Oh, they can grab me.
Hopefully they're safe. Everything's okay there with them as well. All right, welcome back here to Mornings on Main Street. Thank you, Josh, for all that great stuff, man, about who you are and how you get to the writing and that goes on. Intern, I want to get your opinion on this real quick, right?
Okay.
This story is also in this morning's edition of Main Street Nashville. Sign up for it. Every weekday comes to you, and we love it's such good writing, such good stories in there. This happened yesterday. Plunge in Facebook parent company weighs on tech stocks. All right, so it was a story about Facebook. For the first time, the daily user is dropping, and it really affected the prices. But here's the deal with Facebook. All right, how old are you, intern?
26.
What are your buddies? What do y'all use?
Well, I use Twitter mostly.
But you're in the sport. You like the sports,
right?
And instant reaction.
Instagram.
A lot of people don't like Twitter.
Yeah, a lot of people that I know use Instagram more than Facebook.
Okay, Instagram. What about TikTok? You using TikTok?
Again, I have a bunch of friends that use it, but I have just not gotten on the train. You remember Vine?
Yeah.
So I just missed Vine, and I hear it's like that, so I might download it, but I haven't got into it.
I don't have time to take on another social media.
That's what I'm saying.
thing,
yeah, exactly.
Right? Facebook is still overly powerful with so many things, and you connect with so many people. And yes, you can look at the good and bad of everything, but still, there's a lot of good that happens. You see people. You know, we post our pet of the week on there,
right.
And you know, a lot of people see these different shelters we go to and help out and donate and give money and supplies. That's the good part about that we like to focus on here.
I got you. Yeah, my friends use Facebook. I get what you were.
Yeah, and I'm just curious what people use today for all that goes on, because I think Twitter is only like 3% of the population, and you look 3%, maybe 1% of that get on there and do it. But Twitter serves a need as well for breaking news and for events and things that are going on. So I don't mind that. I'm just curious about you guys, the younger guys and girls who do that.
Yeah, I need to get my Facebook better. But yeah, I like Twitter.
Is that a personal thing?
I like Twitter because you can talk to people that you wouldn't normally, or like you can have a conversation with. Like, for example, I argued with Kurt Warner on Twitter.
Why would you argue with Kurt Warner?
It was like I don't know. He is such a good guy. Like
you were mad at his movie because in the movie, the Rams beat the Titans, and you had a problem with that.
Well, just
which had happened in real life.
I know cinematically, you just didn't need to see Javon Curse get shook like that.
Okay, so you went after Kurt Warner. He responded back and it was like, that entire movie, that's what you took from the movie was that Javon Curse thing?
Yeah, but actually when I'm on for a little bit, I told him, yes, I just didn't want to see it in the theaters. But all in all, it was a pretty good movie, Kurt. I'm sorry.
You got one of the nicest guys to ever come around, and you just...
I welched so bad. I was like, hey, man, how about a follow? No response.
Terrible. All right, let's take a break. The hero, our next guest, is a guy that has taken off, speaking of popularity on social media, Alan Bell. is based here in Nashville, Tennessee, but this dude is global. And if you do any kind of sports betting, he is the main dude who's helped. So he's helped us on this show and so many other people. Alan Bell joins us next. I know there's not a huge football game this weekend, but there still is a football game. We'll talk to Alan. That's next.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee.
How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee.
Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me.
Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Love your name, sir. You are right now?
Ellington Parkway through Trinity Lane. I tell you guys this, if you're new to Nashville, learn Ellington Parkway. It'll get you out of downtown to the north side quickly a lot of times without any problem. So good to see there's no problem there as well. All right, every Friday at this time, we have corralled the man, the myth, and he's absolute legend, Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline. Alan, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Big Joe, doing good. I love the last segment, yelling at Kurt Warner. Are there other nicest human beings on the planet that he could have been yelling at? Dolly Parton, you know what I mean? Arnold Palmer maybe years ago. Like, just the nicest human beings that there are.
Intern, he's talking. Yeah. Come on the show now. Alan Bell needs to get – there he is.
He yelled at Kurt Warner.
I know. It was when he responded, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, my God, no, like, you are really an idol of mine. Like, you're the nicest dude I've ever seen in my life. But
it's really funny, man. Like, I do laugh at like Twitter interactions when people like will just give somebody the business, and it's like, dude, this guy's a saint. Like, what are you doing? Like, leave him alone.
And he did it. And so I went back. I got Kurt's side with him. So I just like, why? Kurt Warner. And he was mad because Javon Curse didn't get the sack in the Super Bowl. I mean, we're not doing revisionist history here, intern.
Yeah, we can't do it.
I watched the movie and I told him that I liked the on-field play. It was just, I didn't.
I'm sure that meant a lot to him. So thank you. All right, Alan, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What time do you get up every morning?
About 6:30.
Because I see you being on shows all day long, every day.
Yeah, it's a long day for sure. When we're in football season, it's about 6:30 to almost 1 in the morning, right? Like, it's a long 4 or 5 month stretch. So after next weekend, we're going, bear in hibernation here for a little while. I assure you on that.
We'll get into some Super Bowl stuff and Pro Bowl stuff in a second. When did you really start embracing the sports gambling, betting before it hit Nashville? When did you get involved in it?
Yeah. So, before with CBS Sportsline, I worked for 24/7 Sports for years and, helped start the NFL coverage over there and, teamed up and got to learn, a lot of things under guys like Barton Simmons and Shannon Terry and all kinds of just fantastic people that were over there. And, you know, we always embraced it. It wasn't legal yet in the state of Tennessee, but obviously sports betting was popular. So we just started including it, you know, in our coverage in regards to the Titans, in regards to, you know, the other 31 NFL teams. And once it became legal, we were ready to go. And we had partnered, 24/7 Sports had sold to CBS Sports a couple of years back. So we were ready to go. And obviously, you know, CBS is just a fantastic company. I couldn't sing their praises enough. And they were already ready to go, having done it across the country. So it was a perfect fit.
Were you surprised when it took off in November of 20 how much sports betting in Tennessee just exploded?
Well, I'll say this. I wasn't surprised by how popular it was with such a great sports state. And, that's why so many sports books were ready to go when Tennessee was legal, because they knew that, you know, from Memphis through Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and everywhere in between, that you have some of the most educated sports fans that there are, right? Like, they knew that. We knew that. So I wasn't surprised by that. I am surprised by the numbers and how successful that, Tennessee sports bettors are. You compare them to other states across the country. Tennesseans are doing very well with it.
They are. All right, so let's talk this. We're a week out from the Super Bowl. What's going on? There's some odds out there. How much will this fluctuate and change during the week, or is it stay right in that ballpark right there?
Yeah, so we've already seen the initial change, right? So you look at it, the Rams are 4.5-point favorites with a total of 48.5. When it opened, the Rams were 3.5-point favorites, and the total was 50. So what that means is the public's put down already about $1 million on the Rams to cover the spread and win. That's why you saw it jump from 3.5 to 4.5. And then with the total, it being 50, the total amount of points scored, it's dropped by 1.5. So the public also feels, by the tune of about almost $2 million, that there are going to be fewer points scored than the original 50.
All right, so let me ask you this, and there's a question somebody asked me. I don't know the answer to that. So say the intern today puts loads up on the Bengals with the he gets 4.5 of the Bengals. Say that line goes up or goes down to 3. Does he keep his 4.5 because that's original bet, or does he keep the bet, or does it go fluctuate up and down?
Correct. Yep. You will keep whatever you placed it at, right? So if he set it at 4.5 and it drops, no, you keep it at 4.5. So that's why timing has a lot to do with it as well. So, pay attention to that. If you're going to take the Bengals to cover the spread, kind of go ahead and do that soon, because the public's going to come back in and they'll bet that number down. So it'll go from 4.5 to 4, maybe even back to 3.5. So you want to get it at the highest number possible, and 4.5 might be that number.
Is there one guy who could lay down, I don't know, $800,000 on the Bengals to cover? Can that affect the spread? Can one person affect the spread?
Well, not for the Super Bowl, because there's going to be, $30 billion that's wagered, literally with a B, across the country. But on a normal game, yes, because you're not going to have everyone in the country focused on, say the Titans and Colts game, right? Because you've got 15 other NFL games going on. But with this being the only NFL game, no, it would take a significantly more amount of money to move that number.
Do you on this game? I know we'll talk about it next week. We're not letting you go for a while, so we'll talk about it next week. But does it matter that the Rams are playing at home? Because I tell you what, I was told there's about, for that game versus the 49ers, it was about 60-40 Niners fans in that place.
Yeah, it was. I'll tell you where it comes into play. And Joe, you know this better than anybody being an athlete. That whole week, if you're on the Rams, you sleep in your own bed. You shower in your own shower. You're with your family, right? When you're the Bengals, like, you're on the road the entire time, and it's snowing up there, and they don't have an indoor facility. So they're actually practicing this week at the University of Cincinnati, and then next week they'll fly to Los Angeles and be practicing on the road. All your morning things, eating breakfast on the road at a hotel. Where if you're the Rams and Matthew Stafford, you just wake up, you're like, okay, yeah, it feels good. You know what I mean? So you do that for 2 weeks. Absolutely, that has an effect on you.
Oh, what a great way to put that. People don't realize the Bengals were the cheapest franchise for decades and decades.
Yeah.
The fact they don't have an indoor facility does not surprise me at all.
Yep, 100%.
All right, so I was looking, Alan, Pro Bowl. Do we bet on the Pro Bowl?
Yes. If you bet on the Pro Bowl, if you want to sit there and stress on your life for a game that means nothing, but you can have a lot of fun with it. I would just say be careful. The spread, I believe, sits at 1 right now. So that goes to show you that the books are like, we really don't know. Good luck on this one. Have some fun.
Real quick, we're gonna hold you. We're gonna hold you over a segment. We're gonna do celebrity birthdays with you, where you have to guess. You're gonna go with the intern.
Yeah.
So don't go anywhere. But real quick, before we do that, I see the NFL draft guy, and I saw this. You can already bet on who you think be the first pick in the draft.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you can pick on the first in the draft, and those will jump up as well as we get closer to that. Closer to April, you'll be able to pick. Each team's first overall pick, what position, what they do in the second round, third round. You could be betting on who the Titans and John Robinson take in the 7th round in the draft. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is fantastic. All right, one more quick question before we get to the celebrity birthdays.
Yeah.
This report, Alan, about Brian Flores and Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, telling him to lose games, basically, that somehow seems weird and odd. I'm not saying he did it, but it just thinks that you have an owner betting on his own team.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point because you look at Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins. He's a $17 million investor in a sports betting company, right? So, yeah, the NFL doesn't want all this at all. Take the racial part out of it because obviously, that side is huge. But, yeah, you look at this side and the integrity of games. Not only that, sports betting in there, plus now you're affecting the NFL draft and what other teams and numbers they get. Yeah, the NFL doesn't want that mess at all.
That's oh, okay. I'm going to put my Matlock hat on and investigate this thing that goes on. All right, we'll take a quick break, Alan. Don't go anywhere. And the celebrity birthday game is we'll give you a celebrity. You got to guess their birthday within 2 years, okay?
All right.
You're going to get to the intro. We'll be right back. Alan Bell, celebrity birthdays right here.
Welcome to Main Street Nashville. Our newly launched e-edition allows you to read our paper online from anywhere in the world. You are in control of how and when you read or listen. Subscribers can access our e-edition online at mainstreet-nashville.com or on a smartphone or tablet using our Main Street Nashville app. In a browser, today's and all previous issues are available at the click of a button. Main Street Nashville is fully responsive. Click and drag your cursor to move the paper left and right. To see photos and text at a larger scale, double-click on a page. Clicking Print will allow you to print an article or crossword at your convenience. View photo galleries and videos by clicking the icon on an image. Click play on videos once the screen appears. Main Street Nashville's e-edition is a simple, new way to interact with and consume news. Access the full e-edition of Main Street Nashville on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Read whatever you want, whenever you want. If you have any questions, we're here to help. Call us at 615-527-4104 or email us at news@mainstreetnash.com.
Welcome back to the Mornings on Main Street. We'll do this real quick because I know Alan's got probably 18,000 other things to do today. All right, here's the first birthday, Alan. Tell me how old rocker Alice Cooper is.
Ooh, so I have to pick the year, correct?
You have to pick how old you think they are.
All right, let me go 67.
I'm going to go 69.
He's 74.
Whoa.
Singer Clint Black. How old is Clint Black?
Ooh, I'm going back to 67.
I was going to go back to 64.
He's 60. Not too good.
Hey, sorry, Clint Black.
Singer Natalie Imbruglia, whatever her name is.
Of course.
She's cute.
39.
44.
47. We'll get there. Let's see here. Let's go down. Come on, give me some more good people for the birthday. Some of these people think they're famous and they're really not famous. Oh my God, I'm going down here. Hold on.
Are these all people whose birthday is today?
Yes.
All right, nice.
Rapper Cameron.
Ooh, 41.
I'm gonna go 33.
46. National native singer Gavin DeGraw.
Ooh, 41.
44.
45. You got it close.
Oh, nice.
Actor Jerry Adler from The Sopranos. He's up there in age. That's the only clue you get.
Not which actor?
73.
We'll go 78.
He's 93 years old. Actress Lisa Eichhorn. She was in Beverly Hills Cop. She was Axel Foley's best friend from high school.
66.
71.
She's 70. Got it, too.
Nice.
Oh, so good. Quick, fun game. Celebrity birthdays, Alan. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your time. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. That was fun. Thank you so much.
All right, Alan Bell, celebrity birthdays. Some of these people think they're famous and they're not.
I know. How do they get their name submitted?
Real quick, let me run some names down for you. People you think you've heard of, all right? All right. Drummer John Steele of the Animals.
No.
Actor Michael Beck.
No.
Guitarist Noodles of the Offspring. Bassist
Noodles?
Dave Buchanan of Yankee Gray.
Mm-mm.
No.
Have you not even the bands?
No. Also today's Charles Lindbergh's birthday. You know what he's famous for?
Of course, Charles.
What's he famous for?
Oh, all the stuff that Charles has done.
Hold on. You don't
it's hard
know
to
who Charles
pinpoint.
Lindbergh is?
Of course I know Charles.
What did
CL.
What did he do?
Well, I want to see if you know.
You don't know what Charles Lindbergh did.
It's just I'm having a lot going on, and can you tell me?
Flew the Spirit of St. Louis.
Right, the Spirit of St. Louis was on the tip of my tongue.
You're the best. Have a good weekend, brother. All right, thank you, Josh Ewers, Alan Bell, everybody for joining the show today. Hope you got your day off to a nice and fun start. Be careful out there today, please. The weather's not good. Got to stay home. Got to get out. Please be careful. And be nice if you get out. Smile, wave, open doors, let people in traffic. Be nice. Remember, nobody cares about your CrossFit workout unless you're doing it for charity. And as always, remember, nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you back here next week.